frustrating. Why won't you stay open? Dan,
What?
can you give me a door stop? The door won't stay open.
Sure.
This door just won't stay open. Oh, hey Dan, what did you bring me?
I brought you a fruitcake.
A fruitcake? To hold the door open?
Yeah, that's all it's good for.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I hate having to do that to you, but let me show you what a fruitcake is actually good for. Follow me. Hey everyone, it's Molly. Today we're making another old-fashioned fruitcake, and specifically we're making Dark Christmas fruitcake from this book. Here is the recipe and the instructions, and I will put this down below in the video's description box so you'll have that. And with that, let's make this baby. Okay, so we're going to start off by putting our currants and raisins in this large mixing bowl. Get the biggest bowl you have, the larger the better. And then we're going to put all of our candied fruit in there too. And this is kind of a sticky situation. And then we're going to put our nuts in there. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to toss all this with 1 cup of the flour. And that way it kind of stays suspended in the fruit cake. It doesn't fall all to the bottom. So let's get this tossed. All right, so we're going to take the remaining 1 cup of flour and we're going to sift it together with the spices and the baking soda. And I'm going to start beating my egg whites until they get to stiff peaks. Okay, keep a close eye on your egg whites. You don't want to overbeat them. And as you can see, hopefully, I'm at stiff peaks here. And I'm just going to go ahead and set these egg whites aside in another bowl so I can use my mixer bowl for the remaining ingredients. Okay, so the next step is to cream together the shortening and the brown sugar, and then you're just going to beat that together until it's light and fluffy. And then we're going to add our egg yolks one at a time, and then you just want to make sure you mix it well after each egg yolk, and then scrape down your bowl and beater as you need to. So make sure everything's getting incorporated. And now we're going to add our melted chocolate. It just said half a square, so I just did a 1/4 ounce. And I'm assuming that's the correct amount. I'm not too sure, but I've never made a fruit cake with chocolate before, so I think it'll be an interesting addition, and I'm excited to see what the results will be. Okay, so the recipe said to alternate adding the flour mixture with the orange and lemon juice, and of course I just dumped the flour mixture in all at once and then gradually added the juice. I just think life's too short, but do it. You can follow the recipe if you want to, but I'm just dumping mine in. And then we're going to start the mixer at low speed so I don't get the flour everywhere. And then we will set this aside. And of course you also want to scrape this down, and you only want to mix this just until it's combined. Don't over mix it, or at least that's what the recipe says. I don't know what will happen if you over mix it, but just make sure it's all combined and incorporated, and then we will add this to our all of our dried fruits. Okay, so I really needed a bigger bowl, but I didn't have one. So basically you're just going to mix the batter and the dried fruits, candied fruits, and nuts all together. This took a lot of muscle to do this. You might want to get a friend to help kind of take turns with you. My arm was getting pretty tired and I had to pull Dan in eventually to help me. So let's get this all mixed up. Okay, so now we're going to fold in our egg whites, but you're going to sacrifice a few egg whites in the beginning. You just kind of stir them in rather than fold them. And the whole idea behind that is to kind of loosen up the mixture a little bit so it makes folding in the egg whites, the remaining egg whites, a little bit easier. And honestly, it usually works for recipes, but I think this stuff is so dense that it's not really working in this. So just do your best. Try to not break down the egg whites as much. Just try to make this mixture as light as you can. I eventually pulled Dan in to help because my arm was just really tired at this point. So let's just see how far we can get with this. Okay, so the recipe gave several pan sizes that you could use, but it said to use like basically a bundt pan or any sort of tube pan. It said to line it with parchment paper and then to grease that parchment paper, but it also said the parchment paper had to fit in there perfectly, and I just don't know how to do that. So it said you could also put tin foil in there and leave it ungreased. And I thought tinfoil might be easier to mold to the shape of the pan rather than parchment paper. So that's what we're doing here. I had Dan cover this for me. We had to use several pieces and it was really awkward. If anybody knows how to do this, please leave me a comment and let me know how you're actually supposed to line these pans with parchment paper or tinfoil, because I can't figure it out. But anyways, we got it lined and we're just packing this in. I don't think my pan's big enough, but we're going to make it. Okay, so this was done baking in the amount of time the recipe specified. I just threw a knife in there and it came out clean, so it's done. The recipe says to let this cool completely in the pan before you take it out. So that's what I'm going to do. Good grief, I could talk. And then we will wrap this baby up in some cheesecloth. That's just what I prefer to wrap my fruitcakes in, and we will soak it in some brandy and store it. All right, so I thought it was recording sound and it wasn't. So anyways, time to unveil the fruitcake. Now this was a big pain in the butt because honestly, if you do the foil, I would grease it. I would grease the foil. So mine stuck pretty bad. We had a bunch of pieces in here and they kind of got embedded into the side of the fruitcake and to the top of the fruitcake, and holy crap. Anyways, I'm going to speed through this part because you're just going to see me struggling and no one wants to see that. So let me speed up. Okay, I finally got it off, and there it is, my fruitcake. Look at that. Not the prettiest fruitcake I've ever made, but still looks and smells amazing. Let me tell you, the whole house smells like Christmas. It is very spicy, very sweet. All the Christmas smells in the air. I am getting excited, and we're going to taste this thing. Or at least I'm going to taste this thing. Dan didn't want to. He says he doesn't like fruitcake, so I don't even know why I married him. But anyways, we're going to taste a little piece, and it's still slightly warm. Look at that slice. Oh, looks like jewels, crown jewels. And let me tell you, it's amazing. You can tell on my face I am pleased with what I've created. This is a delicious fruitcake. It's the textures, and then, oh yeah, my kitty, Binks, he's sitting right there. He was interested in it too, but kitties don't eat fruitcake. Sorry, Binks. Anyways, so it's spicy, it's sweet, it has a lot of textures. I'm starting to realize that I really like textured food, and I think that's why I really like fruitcake, because there's nuts in there, there's candied fruits, there's dried fruits. It's just lots of textures going on, and it's spicy and it's sweet and it's just really delicious. And so this recipe comes from the Good Housekeeping Cook Book, which is from 1955. And every year I make a new fruitcake. I try out a new recipe. And I'm really digging this one. I haven't had a bad one yet, so I am excited, and I keep eating pieces, as you can tell. I love fruitcake. And so I'm going to leave a link above to one of my other fruitcake videos where I go into how I store these. And so the recipe says that you can pour brandy on this occasionally, or fruit juices, or sherry, or I think port. they suggested. They suggested a couple things. I put it in the video description. Anyways, I keep brandy in a spray bottle specifically for fruitcakes because I prefer the flavor of brandy. And I just mist it every so often, and then I wrap my fruitcake in cheesecloth, and I don't know why I do cheesecloth. I just do. And I store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator. And every day I saw off a piece, and I'm in heaven for about 5 minutes. And so, yeah, I've got brandy in a spray bottle. I just find that the even distribution that the spray provides really can't be beat. And I suggest that if you are going to do this with your fruitcake, get a food grade spray bottle, whatever fluid of choice you prefer, and you'll get an even distribution and flavor onto your fruitcake this way. And then you can also spray the cut ends. It's just easier than pouring it on. But yeah, anyways, fruitcake, I'm quite happy with it. This turned out amazing. I need to perfect my parchment paper tinfoil technique. I'll have to look at my old videos to see what I did in the past because I just don't remember. But yeah, this stuck pretty bad. But anyways, I'm talking about something random. This was really delicious. I hope you guys make it. If you do make it, please leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And please check out my fruitcake playlist. It's called Fruitcake Fantasy. I'll leave a link to that above, and so you can watch my other fruitcake videos. And I hope you guys have a great holiday season. Thanksgiving's coming up. I hope you guys have a good holidays, and I'll see you later.